all of my eggs are in the Christina Mandrell, Brayden Bowers basket. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. That's right. If you are not on the train leading to the relationship known as Christina Mandrell and Brayden Bowers, and if you did not buy a ticket for the train to jump on the tracks that are leading to Christina Mandrell and Brayden Bowers, I need you to get out of here. This is officially a Christina Mandrell, Brayden Bowers fan club starting today. This is it, folks. Follow me on Instagram at DNeils, patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes bonus content. And every afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, the hit podcast. I got morning episodes, afternoon episodes. Who needs them? Look under your chair. That's a Bachelor Rush Hour episode. We got it all, folks. All right. This is true. There's rumors floating around that Brayden Bowers of SoCal, Southern California, is moving to the great state of Tennessee. And boy, what great timing. As I'm looking to venture, hey, can we do some brunch together, folks? Maybe babysit for us? Brayden Bowers, do you do babysitting? I'm sure he does. Next thing you know, my baby daughter's gonna have earrings, bedazzled. I'm kidding. I'm having a son. He can have earrings too. I don't care. Boys can do earrings. The hell do I care? Do whatever you need. And by the way, if I do ever interview Brayden Bowers on Driving with Dave, good luck at seeing the earrings. I'm going to have earrings so big, oncoming traffic's going to be veering out of the way because it's going to be reflecting back and forth. All right, so let's get into it. Bachelor in Paradise's Brayden Bowers and Christina Mandrell give glimpses of goofy romance. Truly special. Here's what I like about them. I'll tell you what I like about them. I liked them both before finding out they were dating. I liked Christina Mandrell. After briefly talking to her in the spring, I was trying to get her on Driving with Dave. She didn't have approval, and I think she was possibly considering Bachelor in Paradise. I don't know how that fell apart. Maybe she wanted it. Maybe she didn't. No idea. Brayden, I met actually at the evening where Katie Thurston had her roast, which I don't know. That must have been June. It was July. I think it was right after 4th of July. Either way. Met Brayden out at the club, and the thing I remembered about him was how big he's a sturdy man. But of course, at that time, he was like the bad guy from Charity Season, which I never believed. And I was like, no, I think this guy's pretty chill. And at that time, I think he had already filmed Bachelor in Paradise or was about to leave for it. Regardless, he ended up coming to one of my stand-up shows, and people say, oh, you're biased to so-and-so because you know them. And it's like, yeah, you flipping moron. When you meet somebody and realize they're not as bad as whatever edit they were given, you realize, hey, they're good people. They were cast for a reality show because they can charm your pants off. Together, they're both creative. They're like a weird Power Rangers couple, right? She's the Pink Ranger, obviously. Which Ranger would he be? Would he be, it's hard to tell, Red Ranger? He's really his own character. He's the Maroon Ranger here. Either can you imagine a Power Ranger with just earrings on? Like they're just like, they take their earrings off and they become nunchucks. Okay, point is here, don't mean to desecrate the world of Power Rangers, but for my 1990s fans here, you got a little hint of nostalgia. Brayden wasn't but a afterthought at that age, you young mother effer. And we always think of Christina as being maybe older than she is because seems like she has it all together, right? She's got a beautiful daughter. She has her life going on, and she's anyway, maybe I'm just projecting, but I'm probably well over 10 years older than her, and I'm like, I want to be like Christina someday. All right, either way, they've got some reels I'm going to share. Then I'm going to read for you this exclusive story, which is actually almost brought me to tears when I first read it. It's actually a fascinating story. It's far deeper of a love story than we would know on the surface. And there's a reason why, of all of the Bachelor relationships, this quasi-Bachelor in Paradise relationship, meaning they didn't meet on the beach, they just so happen to both have been in the Bachelor universe, is actually the only successful one, which is why we've got all of our eggs in that basket. Let's have a quick look at some of the gold we can expect from this relationship.
Your parents driving erotically again.
He said, my parents are driving erotically.
Erratically.
No, I mean erotically. I wish I meant erratically.
And there's Aaron with nipple pasties driving erotically. Okay, good play on words there. An erratic life they live. Someone said, if y'all don't give us a story time, how it started. And there's Brayden hanging out on the mats. And then there is Christina executing perfectly the reverse tool on their short form content there. Clearly stepdad energy as they're hanging out. Sans shoes. No shoes, no shirt, no problem. They got the shirts on. Maybe keep the shirts on there. But clearly at maybe their daughter's gymnastic event. I tell you what, this is why I was kind of hoping I would have had a daughter, because I wanted to learn gymnastics myself. But hey, but boys can do that too. Again, I'm not making this a gender thing. I'm just saying. All right, so here they are.
Hey, look at us.
Was there anything actually good that came out of Bachelor in Paradise? And it is Christina, Brayden. What a cool bohemian family. And then the beautiful, just fun daughter. And of course, there'll always be haters. I hate how they incorporate their daughter. Hey, this is my generation's Von Trapp family right here. Okay, this is all we have. This is Nashville's Kardashians. All right, folks. So either way, they hard launched. They did this beautiful start. Brayden said, I finally took Wells' advice and found myself a Southern Belle. I've covered this on several live streams, and we talked about it right after the episode and recaps. But it's really important that we actually begin to really dive in and share and embrace this story.
Get yourself a Southern Belle, man. Hey, I'll work on it.
All right, so there it is. Wells said, go get yourself a Southern Belle, and he said, I'll work on it. And sure enough, he went to the home of Southern Belles, Nashville, Tennessee. So there they are. Now the question is he going to move in with her? And I don't even know where I saw it, but one of these recent articles said that they were planning on possibly moving in. Let's see if we search moving here. So I don't like to always read articles, but I like to just search moving. So let's see. One of these articles had it. Either way, let's go to, I'm standing by my thumbnail that it looks like they're moving to Nashville together. Exclusive, Brayden Bowers reveals Christina Mandrell is the one and discusses relationship timeline. Now, I love that this is, first of all, this article, it doesn't even have a like an author to it, right? There's nothing here. So I'm looking forward to getting an actual podcast or something we can actually share. But this is, the briefing that we need. The question of is like, how did it all begin? And he said, in the early fall, after I got home from Paradise, she commented in a couple of my Instagram posts. I didn't respond right away, but then I saw a cute Instagram story of her and her daughter, Blakely, and I responded to her story. I specifically responded to a story of her with Blakely because I wanted to subtly let her know that having a daughter isn't something that scares me away. Her being such a good mom is actually something I'm attracted to. So then we started talking on Instagram, and shortly after we exchanged phone numbers. She lives in Nashville and I live in San Diego, so we started just by texting. Then our first FaceTime call was over 4 hours. And it goes back and forth. And what I love about this is Brayden got raked over the coals for like not wanting to commit to charity or wasn't right or whatever, you know what I mean? And like it was so bizarre. It's like, look, he just wasn't that into you. It wasn't the relationship, even though he got all the roses and all the attention and they made him out to be a villain, during the season. I didn't buy it, not from a country mile. Well, now we can see, and again, should this be the bare minimum? Well, no, I think not everyone in the relationship in their 20s would be interested in taking on the role of being a stepdad or being, a fatherly figure in somebody's life. That's heavy because when you break up, you don't just break up with them, the daughter. It's a whole thing, right? It definitely has to weigh into the thoughts of a relationship. Well, Brayden, no shortage of love, says, hey, bring it on. You got a daughter? This is great. More people. Hey, we get to ride in the carpooling, whatever, you know what I mean? He said from there, we talked like that for a week or two, and we realized we had so much in common and liked all the same silly things like Tenacious D. She was like, I actually have tickets to see them next week in Nashville, and asked if I wanted to go see them with her. And by the way, if I had to ask Christina, I wonder if she actually had tickets to see Tenacious D, or if she was luring him in with a little bit of that Jack Black goodness, a little bit of that School of Rock energy. I see what you did there. He said, I ended up buying a ticket to go see her, meet her in person, and go to the show. It was amazing. All right, so I'll tell you what, if they ever do get engaged, he's got to propose at a Tenacious D concert. I mean, am I right or wrong? Can we get Jack Black over here to kind of set this up? She had to pick me up incognito at the airport, and it was the funniest thing ever. We just instantly clicked. We had been talking for a couple of weeks, but there was no awkwardness at all in person, and we just flowed the entire time. So he talks a little bit about his near-death experience. Let's jump to that. And you guys know we've covered this story. It's an incredible story that probably hasn't gotten enough attention in the Bachelor world. I mean, it could have been the most tragic Bachelor story of all time. This being that their boat sank miles off the coast of San Diego. I've talked to multiple people that were there. I've talked to Aaron. I saw him at the premiere of F-Boy Island. We talked about this. This wasn't like, oh, the boat sank and we were close to shore. This was a life-changing moment that they had. And hearing Brayden talk about what it did to him rattles me to the core. The question was, you had a near-death experience and your boat sank off the coast of San Diego. How did that change your relationship with Christina? And by the way, the question doesn't even do it justice. 3 miles off the coast, no other boats in sight. The boat they were in sank right away. They barely were able to get life vests. It was an absolute disaster. They didn't have cell phones, things like that. He says, yeah, we almost died when I was out there stranded in the water for over 3 hours. And it's cold. The water's cold, and you know what I mean? Sharks, come on, jellyfish. You kidding me? I was just thinking about the people I loved in my life. I thought about my family and how they knew I loved them. But there was one thing that really stood out and upset me. I had one big regret, and it was that I didn't tell Christina that I loved her. I was trying to follow this timeline and stay on the traditional relationship escalator, but it was just the one thing sticking out of my head that I didn't get a chance to say. So when we got rescued, the first thing I did was borrow my dad's phone. Mine was at the bottom of the ocean, so I could call Christina. I told her I just had this life-changing experience, and I know it may be early, and I had to tell her that I loved her and had these strong feelings. Without skipping a beat, she was just like, I love you too. She was the first person I called, and I just sat on the phone and we talked for hours. Then by the end, Brayden's dad's like, can I get my phone back? No, Dad, I'm on the phone. Then by the end, I was like, oh, wait, do you want to be my girlfriend? Like, we weren't official and it all felt out of order, though we both knew that this was way more than a regular fling. So it was just kind of weird to say I love you first and then ask her to be my girlfriend, because I know it's supposed to go the other way around. But honestly, I didn't care at that point. The next day, she got a flight out to see me and spent time with my family. My mom immediately loved her. She pulled me aside after meeting her with tears in her eyes and said, I actually really love this girl, Brayden. Yeah, what were the type of girls Brayden was bringing home before? The mom's like, I don't know. The mom now is like, we actually like her. What have you done right? Either way, the story goes on, and you know what? It's just beginning. And hey, not to put pressure on their relationship. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Nothing works out until it does. But wouldn't that be a great love story to wrap 2023 up with? All of the failed relationships, the multiple infidelities, not by them, but by other people. Excuse me. All of the this, all of the that, all of the chaos. And maybe, just maybe, true love finds a way on or off the beach. Let me know what you guys think. This officially commences. I'm starting it right now. Set the timer. This is a Brayden Bowers, Christina Mandrell fan club. We'll be back with more content. I'll be live on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal, right after this.